Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones. In many people's minds, this is the worst out of the 6 canon movies. Is that a fair ranking? Is it underrated? Today, I'm going to review this movie 20 years after its release. Darth Melvin, it's actually 19 years. Just stop! You're holding me back! I'm the first to say it, the prequels have flaws, but I still enjoy them and I really like Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones. Now, in this review, I may be overly critical. You just have to listen and understand I'm going to be fair. If I am overly critical, just know it's coming from a place of love. The opening crawl sets the tone. There is a divide in the Republic. Count Dooku is introduced. Padme's useless decoy is murdered. And the Jedi are discussing everything with Palpatine. Say what you want about these movies, but already, right here, this is a powerful scene. Jedi Council talking to Palpatine, and we all know Palpatine is pulling the strings. Padme enters with her questionable acting.
Do you have any idea who is behind this attack?
Our intelligence points to disgruntled spice miners.
And claims Count Dooku is trying to kill her.
I think that Count Dooku is behind it.
He is a political idealist, not a murderer.
You know, milady, Count Dooku was once a Jedi. He couldn't assassinate anyone. It's not in his character.
So they mentioned Dooku in the opening crawl, they mentioned Dooku in the opening scene. Watching this movie for the first time, you're wondering, who is Dooku? I can't help but think maybe he should have had a role in episode 1. Palpatine has been in the ear of Anakin for 10 years. He knows he has an emotional attachment to Padme. He purposely brings Anakin close to her.
I will have Obi-Wan report to you immediately, milady.
Thank you, Master Windu.
This transition with music, the exterior shot of the city, the shot of the elevator, and the appearance of Obi-Wan and Anakin Skywalker 10 years since we last saw them, this is far better than anything we got in the sequel trilogy. Just this transition, and you'll find you can do this with other scenes as well. Anything in these movies are better than the shit-ass sequel trilogy. Everyone complained about Jar Jar, and Jar Jar got a limited role in the next 2 movies. I think it was probably for the best. There is the Darth Jar Jar theory out there. Had they gone that route, that could have been something, but, you know, I like Maul. Then he's replaced by Dooku. Then Anakin replaces him. I think that works better and shows how the rule of 2 works. Anakin has literally been training as a Padawan under Obi-Wan Kenobi for 10 years. This is interesting. Anakin is extremely gifted in the Force and is arrogant. He's naive.
I will retire.
Check it out. Anakin is staring at that ace.
She hardly even recognized me, Jar Jar. I've thought about her every day since we've parted, and she's forgotten me completely.
I thought about her every day since we parted? That is not normal behavior. No wonder this guy goes on a killing spree. The next scene, I really enjoy hearing Anakin and Obi-Wan just talk.
And don't forget, she's a politician and they're not to be trusted.
She's not like the others in the Senate, Master. It is my experience that senators focus only on pleasing those who fund their campaign.
I wish we had more of this. Anakin says he's dreaming about his mother, then they get into politics.
Not another lecture. At least not on the economics of politics.
Besides, you're generalizing. The Chancellor doesn't appear to be corrupt.
Then before they begin the chase sequence, Anakin says he thinks Palpatine is a good man. They are already setting up a lot.
I think he's a good man.
I really like the chase scene, the music, the visuals. You see more of how arrogant Anakin is. He thinks he could take Yoda. He's leaping off the speeder and dropping hundreds of feet.
You want to buy some death sticks?
You don't want to sell me death sticks.
I don't want to sell you death sticks.
You want to go home and rethink your life.
I want to go home and rethink my life.
The death sticks. The prequel trilogy has so many memes, you don't get this shit in the sequel trilogy because the sequels are shit. Next scene is the Jedi Council. You can never go wrong with the council scene. Then we transition to Anakin and Palpatine. Not only is Palpatine a good man, Anakin has a friendship with this guy. And it's just great to see them on screen together talking, knowing where they eventually end up. Anakin has been ordered to protect Padme. Up to this point, Hayden Christensen's acting, it's not Leonardo DiCaprio, but it's all right. But this scene...
I'm ready for the trials. But he feels that I'm too unpredictable. He won't let me move on.
That must be frustrating.
It's worse. He's overly critical. He never listens. He doesn't understand. It's not fair.
How many takes did they do? How did George Lucas decide this was the best take?
It's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair. He's overly critical.
All right, you nailed it, Hayden. Oscar worthy. This is terrible acting and terrible directing. It's garbage dialogue. He's 19 years old. He's acting like he's 12. It's not fair. Obi-Wan grounded me. And he's supposed to be seducing this woman. Anakin somehow recovered from that total cuck episode and gets in her face. She's uncomfortable because she's weirdly attracted to him. He'll build on this later. And what's he smiling about? Again, no wonder he goes on a killing spree. I don't know if this is bad acting or bad directing, or if Hayden Christensen purposely comes off as a serial killer. Then Obi-Wan starts his arc to find the missing planet. This is an interesting scene. The Jedi younglings. Sequel lovers, pay attention. This is how Jedi are trained from a very young age. They are then given masters to train under as a Padawan, and then they become Jedi themselves. They don't pick up a lightsaber and beat Kylo Ren. That's not how the Force works.
What is your suggestion, Master Jedi?
Oh, Anakin's not a Jedi yet. He's still a Padawan learner. But I was thinking...
Hold on a minute.
Excuse me.
What the fuck is her problem here? His Jedi rank is none of her fucking business. He's there protecting her, risking his own life. Oh, he's not a Jedi, he's a Padawan learner. And Anakin still wants to tap that ass after this major diss. Everything with Kamino is cool. Young Boba Fett might be the worst actor ever, but just love Kamino.
Yep. May we see him? Sure. Dad, Tonwee's here.
Hang on, son, we'll move into the asteroid field. And we'll have a couple of surprises for him.
Get him, Dad! Get him! Fire!
So right after the major diss is the sand scene.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. Not like here. Here everything is soft and smooth.
As bad as this dialogue is, this is a major meme and gigantic moment in Star Wars history. It's so bad, it's good. And what people don't really talk about, talking about sand worked. It gave him an opening to kiss her. As bad as the line is, it was an alpha moment in this movie.
Future Star Wars content.
The next scene, they are falling in love. This is happening really fast. Again, maybe they could have used episode 1 to develop this more. Anakin is joking with her about a dictatorship. They tie that in nicely in Revenge of the Sith after his killing spree.
I can't breathe.
I can't breathe. Calm the fuck down. You just saw her for the first time like a day ago. As much of a genius George Lucas is, someone really needed to keep him in check. It's this love dialogue that just kills this movie for many people. And I do think if you just ignore the love scenes, like the movie is not bad.
My heart is beating, hoping that kiss will not become a scar.
The Jango fight is fun. Honestly, it's much better than the fight we had in Return of the Jedi. I don't know what the fuck that was. That was comic relief. This, they actually fought. So they go to Tatooine to find his mother. I like the scene where he reunites with Watto. Then he ultimately finds his mother with the Sand People and she dies. Now the way they cut from the scene is okay, but damn it, I wanted to see Anakin rage. I think it was important to see it. It's just not as impactful in the next scene with Padme when he tells her what he did. I wanted to see this happen. And why is she still into him afterwards? He just told her he murdered all of them. The women, the children. She thinks this is normal, acceptable behavior? They should have changed the script and had him not reveal this to Padme. Dooku needed more screen time and development, classic interaction with Obi-Wan. I wish they'd have gone more into the politics and how the Jedi have lost their way. Jar Jar grants Palpatine emergency powers. I think they handled Jar Jar very well in this movie. They kept him to the side, and he's to blame for giving Palpatine more power. I don't like the factory scene. It's ridiculous. Probably the worst scene in the movie. R2 can fly. 3PO has some impressive upper body strength.
It's a nightmare!
Don't move, Jedi. Take him away.
Then ultimately, Anakin gets owned in this scene. That leads to the arena scene. I thought it was entertaining seeing Jedi fight without their lightsaber. Then Mace Windu comes with all the Jedi and they swarm the arena. Dozens of Jedi are going at it with battle droids. We see Mace Windu in his purple lightsaber kicking ass. He kicked more ass than Luke Skywalker did in the sequel trilogy. They sent over 200 Jedi to rescue Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Padme. Only 30 survived. And they only survived because Yoda arrived with the clone army. And on top of that, they didn't catch Dooku. The Jedi seriously fucked this up. Maybe they could have played this up a bit in Anakin's turn. Then we see the clones in action. We're almost 2/3 done with the trilogy, and the Clone Wars just started. And I think that's a problem. Obi-Wan and Anakin catch up to Dooku. We see Dooku as Force Lightning. This is the first time we're seeing someone other than the Emperor shoot Force Lightning. Obi-Wan versus Dooku was underwhelming.
Master Kenobi, you disappoint me.
Anakin gets in there using 2 lightsabers. Unfortunately, we only see this for 2 seconds. He clearly was not as good as Rey Skywalker with 2 lightsabers. Then Anakin gets cut down. The cinematography for the lightsaber duels I think could have been better. There was too many close-ups, but I'm happy with the end result. Dooku owned them. And Yoda comes on the scene, and in the theater, everyone lost their shit. And after impressively fighting Yoda off, he runs away like a biznatch. So we're getting to the end of the movie. Dooku lands, and immediately he is met by Palpatine, who has his hood up. This is a badass ending to the movie for these characters.
War has begun.
Excellent. Everything is going as planned.
Then we get a very cringe ending with Anakin and Padme, but I love the John Williams music. So I really think episode 1 and 2 could have been combined. Not much happens in both movies. I'd like them more in their own had there been 4 movies, but we only had 3, so everything had to be crammed into Revenge of the Sith. The love story took up too much screen time, the dialogue is terrible. Part of what made the love story in Empire Strikes Back so good is they didn't force it. It was developing in the first movie, and then at the end of the second movie, they didn't get married. Is Attack of the Clones the worst Star Wars movie out of the 6 canon movies? I don't think it is. The Phantom Menace is less exciting. There's more going on in Attack of the Clones. The prequel trilogy really needed a strong conclusion, and it got one. It also helps with the animated shows to spice it up. I imagine Disney will try that shit with the shit-ass sequel trilogy. It will not work because the sequel trilogy was garbage. The prequel trilogy was not. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you like Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones? Become a knight, subscribe to the channel. I have more Episode 2 videos coming out very soon. Join the Knights of Melvin Discord, help plot to take down Disney and all their shills.
Dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider. unnatural.